G'day and welcome to part 45 on the XC restoration, and in this one we start tackling electric windows. Only got one done because the car's been kind of phoning me and I didn't really know what I was doing, so the order I've put bits and pieces in I probably wouldn't do again. It worked in the way I did it, but I've learned something from doing that to do it differently next time. Also, thank you very much, I'm just looking at my phone, to those who participated in the straw poll. I got the idea from Do It With Dan. He got a motorbike and he basically spent money on a good bike and made it bad, but we had 107 votes, which is a really good result, because if you only have like 10 votes then one person's worth 10%, if you know what I mean. Original type of Speedo, 60 people said original Speedo and 47 said the police interceptor type. So I think we'll go for the original one. I've got one here somewhere. I think it's a fairly low mileage one, but I can't remember. So we'll get into that later. But it's taken a long time because we've had basically 2 weeks of rain. It felt like 2 weeks, probably a week and a half of solid rain. I couldn't get out, and also that was followed by hot weather. So today was 30 something. It was 43 in here at one stage, which is quite hot. And anyway, so we didn't get as far as we wanted, but we did get some work done, so I hope you enjoy.
Good God, this weather sucks. Don't mind when I'm at work. I couldn't care less how much it rains when I'm at work. It's when I'm at home on the weekend that I really don't like it much. Got to paint stuff and push cars out, and I can't do that, so I'm just going to go to the canteen and get something to eat, I think. Bloody hell. It's supposed to be summer. You wouldn't think it's summer, would you?
Right, so these are the ZH Fairlane door trims I've been talking about for a while. These are in dusk, which is a blue, which isn't really going to cut it. Of course, I've got this wood grain and stuff, which I don't want either, and there's all this fake stitching and all this sort of stuff. But having said that, they are usable. They're in pretty good nick. These ones here, though, are the proper Fairmont GXL ones. I've only got the two rears, and you can see they're actually quite thickly padded, but they have this sort of strap arrangement there, the buckle things I was talking about. Now, I've only got two. That's all I could find. There's the other one, completely knackered, but it doesn't matter. They have these straps sort of attached to the back. So, from what I can gather, we've got the steel inner there with a stud on it. They're wrapped in vinyl, and that bit there, you can actually pull away. So that's what we have to do with our door trims. So, and you still need the front ones. And the other thing I've got is this one here. This is the left hand rear door top moulding. So now I've got the full set of those, and this is a pretty good one. It's dirty, but we can fix that. It's got a little zip poking up there, but I might just tap that in. I don't know, but all things considered, that's not a bad haul. So tomorrow after work I will go to Moorabbin and pick up 8 metres of the new vinyl. Well, a very untidy setting, but here is a huge roll of that vinyl for the XC, the door trims and some of the other bits and pieces. So I wanted 8 metres, well 6 really, but I didn't know how much I was going to need, and it was something like $25 a metre. So I needed the 8, but he ended up giving me 9.5 because there were some stains on it. So that was 9.5 metres for $200. So there should be plenty there to do what I need, and I love that colour. I'm very, very happy with that. Here's the trim that we looked at yesterday. It looks absolutely lovely. We have got greasy finger marks on, but they do come off. I've got to do something about that little pimple bit there, but otherwise that's a win as well, so I'm very happy with that. I can put that away into the XW vault of XC parts. And that's the reason I can't get any work done. I've had a week of this. Sometimes it's heavy like that, but most of the time it's not too bad, but it's still just been a constant week of wet weather. Okay, so we've had a slight reprieve. Looks like we've got a visitor. It's Jason XW. I call him Jason XW, his name's Jason Hill. He's got the Fairlane, he's doing the resto one. And I never knew his surname, so in my phone it was just Jason XW. Hello, mate.
Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good. New ride, huh?
Yeah, new one. Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, likewise. I've got the camera going. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all
You
right.
left your lights on.
Oh, they turn off.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
It's a bit more modern than anything else, though. Tickford.
yeah. Pretty snazzy beast, eh?
Nice ride. Is that a V8, is it?
Nah, it's a 5-cylinder diesel turbo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'd shift.
Yeah.
Good. Well.
Well, thank goodness I finally got the inside of these doors painted. We've had nothing but rain. All new metal all through here. It's lovely and soft and nice, and you can see that one's all done too. So paint's really thin. You can see through it, but it doesn't matter because the door trim covers that. It's just thicker all around the perimeter. So what we'll do tomorrow is flick them over and repaint the front, or paint the front. We'll give it a good few coats, and then we can stick them on the car at last. But I had a break in the weather today, and I just took advantage of it, pushed the cars out, and got it done at the long last. Well, first bit of summer I've had in ages. Ages and ages. Just not getting any sun lately. 350 tank. I'm ready to clear coat. And it's turned out alright. It's not flawless, I would say, but once it's cleared, it'll look really, really good. These are the same as the stickers as I mentioned before, but I've actually taped them in. There are a couple of little bits on there, if you look really closely, that I don't think are that great, but I think, look, I did it, so I reckon it'll be alright. We now got a 4-door. I've never been excited about having a 4-door before, but we've got one. Do have to finesse this shut line here, there. It's a bit narrow down the bottom too. I've just got to fiddle around with it, but it's all doing what it's supposed to do. What sort of, that's the skin I replaced. So that's all right. That's okay. I've just got to touch up, paint touch up where I've been mucking around with door adjustment, that sort of stuff. I need to get around the other side. I've painted John's samples, and we need to ditch that handle and start. I've got to wet sand these doors and buff them. See, I haven't been consistent with gaps, have I? Wet sand these doors, buff them out, and fit them out. I think the first thing I need to do though is I need to paint those quarter window frames, for want of a better term. That's a bit high there. I've got to muck around with these ones too. They're nowhere near right. So I don't know. I might repaint those too. I wasn't happy with the way I did the paint on the black there, so I might redo that as well. There are going to be a few people critical because I'm painting different parts of the car at different times. You can kind of get away with that with white, but you wouldn't do it with orange or red or anything like that. I'm looking at this boot lid, trunk lid. The holes here, this is a Falcon 500 or a Fairmont one where you have a stainless trim around here and it goes down here to this double trim. That's an old Ceramic which looks like that, and that continues down the bottom. Now my car will have that because it's got taillights obviously. They will go in something like kind of that, and so that will continue, we know that. That one there I can delete because that's for the one that curves down, and the GXLs don't have that, they have a chrome one across the top. A little bit of surface rust it's got. Let's go have a look behind here. Someone's blocked up the badge holes. So they might need to be welded up properly, and it's got a bit of rust here, just in that spot there. So that'll come out and a plate goes in. Need to dig around and find out what they've done there. That's probably just filled over. It's probably not been, or hasn't been done properly. So I need to look at that. And it looks like it's a pre-update one, so it's got the Ford across the boot, which I'm not going to have. So once the paint comes off, because this has to be stripped to bare metal, then I'll know if I'm filling in those little badge holes with weld, because it will have an update badge, just the oval Ford badge over here, and the Fairmont GXL one on the other side. Oh, hang on, the other side. The Ford one goes down there, sorry, and the Fairmont GXL one goes here. So I've just got to check that out. But I'm getting ready to do that too. It is a pretty good boot lid. All down the bottom here is all rust free. It's just that little area behind there, and you can see that I might have to cut that whole thing out and put a new piece of fresh metal in. That's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. Right, so as I'm getting ready to paint the window trims and all that sort of stuff, I've got these headlight buckets here. Not sure if that's normal for GXLs and Fairmonts. It's got a crack there. Same on the other side. I'm just going to give them a quick tack with the welder from behind. I've got the thing out there ready to go. Did I get it? Check this out. Painting around stickers. It's nice. decorates it well, doesn't she? Well, you did the table, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the
Okay, so my wife normally does the table, my daughter did it this time. And she also did the tree, didn't she? A lovely job. And no car work today. We are making it a family day. Merry Christmas. Hello, Bunny Bunny. Hello, darling. Well, up to speed with my chores, although I do have to do the lawn again. We got a good day today. I'm going to start painting because these are the rear quarter window frames which need to be stuck in. I've got all the screen ones. I'm going to paint these ones for now, which are the top and side of the front, and the 2 quarter ones. I've got the rest on the Plymouth, and still got to straighten these ones out. You see that's kicked out there? And ditto with the other one. No, it's at the other end. See that? Bloody awful. And there's the lower one. It's a bit of a shame with this car doing the front ones because they are in impeccable condition. That was Joel who gave them to me, which is cool. And there, of course, the other rear ones. Fine, I can paint those. And I'm just waiting for the 350 tank to fully go off before I clear it. And that can be next weekend. So for now, I think I'll do these and get the car out. This job sucks. I've got to wet sand the door because I never got around to doing it when I put the door on in, I don't know when it was, April was it? And just got some water with some washing detergent just to drop in there. And I'm just using 1,000 now, 1,200, 1,200 to get it down, and then I'll just finish off with 2,000 bucket. So I'm just taking the tops off. And then I can buff it. Once I've buffed it, I can fit the door out. I had to repaint some of the quarter glass trims and stuff like that because I forgot about them. And I don't even know where the glass is. Might be under the house, I'm not sure. I think the side glass is in the Plymouth. But I've got to get that out and clean it all. That's probably not too bad, although I'm not quite down enough yet. So I'll continue with this. I don't really go into too much detail because I've done this before on these videos. I did the XW and the Wolseley. I think I did a bit on this too, so I don't want to flog a dead horse. Put the interior door handles in. I've spent most of the day buffing the bloody doors. This is a pain, this bit, because you've got metric and imperial. These are 6mm metric. Should probably squeeze that up a bit tighter actually, it's a bit loose. And we're just sort of putting them in. Just remember where everything goes. And I thought I'd have a lot more done now than I had. The usual story of my life. Where you've got spanners, where you've got I've spent most of the day. I've got a socket here. I'm just going to use the spanner. I spent most of the day just colour sanding and buffing these 2 doors from April when I did them, and sort of aligning these doors again. It's been a pain in the neck, but I want to get it sort of. I thought I'd have the I thought I'd have all the door stuff back in today, and of course, as usual, no. Ages and ages. Even getting things like that little clip in, that slide. It's like a carrier for the rod, the actuator rod. I'll just try that. Just a moment. What have we got? Yeah, that just locks with the thing. I'll put the I'll pop a door handle in. Our door handle kit. I've got the handle. We've seen those, and gasket and studs and other bits and pieces. These are all different, front, right hand. So they're certainly not interchangeable. These are tricky, you've got to kind of open them right up to get them in. Look like crazy, you don't scratch your door. The next thing's going to be lining up a stupid gasket, it's all over the place, look at it. It's had it. So, I've got to fish that out somehow. Just yeah. Thank you for modern dentistry. I freaking bought one. That looks awesome. How good does that look, eh? motorbike. Let's pull this out. I've got to put the little box thing on the back of it. Right, well, it's better now. I've got the black gasket in there. It had two. Well, the rear one had one, the front one didn't have one, and the others have got one too, so they've forgotten to package it. So we nip those up. I thought they might be different depth. That's cool. It looks pretty good. Actually, while I was feeling around behind here, I noticed that. Please handle with care. And it's a professional chair, but they don't know how to spell. This lock set's pretty great. They come with a gasket and all that sort of stuff. I'm assuming the white bit goes down the bottom, which would be like this. No. It goes like that. Right. So that should just fit in like so. Like that. And we've got this little clip that goes with it too that came in the box. And I'll hook that up and we'll see if it works. Oh, I've got it working. And that's working from the inside too. I'm annoyed though. I'm really shitty. I've scratched underneath there, so I don't know. It might be time to quit now because I'm getting tired and making mistakes. I've also changed the ignition lock cylinder down there, so it all opens with the one key. So that's cool. I'm just annoyed about that scratch. I might try and put the back handle in before I quit, and at least then the door handles are on this side. These ones are even trickier because they've got that hole. They're a much taller item, and I really don't want to scratch it. But I'm going to put all this in before I stick the windows in, I think. And it's just a big pain in the ass. Right, well, I've got it in and it works, but the door handles are actually crap. I read it somewhere and I didn't believe it, but they're not the quality of they're broken. The original Ford ones. These are the originals here, so it may well be worth refurbing these and just putting them in, because I'm not happy with them. They don't fit as well. They operate okay, but they just don't sit like a Ford one does. It's going to sit out a bit. But yeah, I'm not happy with them at all, to be honest. I'm really not happy with them. But I know I dropped $300 on those. I'm a little bit pissed off, but I'm mainly sort of annoyed because I'm kind of over it now and I want to go inside and I've been out here all day. Most of the day was in just buffing out the doors really, and I've damaged the underneath the driver's one, which is just so disappointing, you know. But look, what do you do? What do? You can't do much about it. You just got to live with it. So, end of the day, I'm sure I won't drive it around and sort of think too much about those door handles, although if they do annoy me, as I said, I'll change them out. They just don't feel right. They don't feel right, you know what I mean? I just don't like them particularly. But it's a good thing, you know. Part support for these is becoming more and more better. You can see the gap in the top of that door handle there between the handle itself and the housing is different from the back. Tell you what, going from the fry pan into the fire, it's 33 at the moment. I think we've got a scheduled top of 36 Celsius. So pretty warm. Might be time to do some more work on the car. Well, just getting bits together for the door refitting. I've got a box of bits and pieces here, as well as a whole sort of raft of these sort of bits and pieces here, and I've picked out the ones I need. The rear one has that other frame type one as well. I'm having trouble locating the 6mm speed nuts. I've only found 2 of them and I need 4. I don't know where they are, because they're metric. I could probably get away with 1/4 inch course, but I don't even have any of those. So these have to have the blue overspray taken off. I've been going through these bits and pieces, jars and bags, and these XC rear doors, which I bagged properly, and they've got the 2 little tiny little weeny bolts to hold that whole frame in. Screws, I should say. I've had glass stored in the Plymouth, and you can see this was in the trailer a long time before the Plymouth, because it's got the checker plate rust mark in it. Can you see that? Maybe like that. Looks pretty crap. We've got to get all that muck and dirt and stuff off. I've already cleaned up the quarter glass, and I got away with the frame. It's just sitting there. It's not secured at all. So it's just a matter of going through and finding all those bits. The other thing, I've got to get a shake on and start doing these too, because I'm going to call, it's now the 27th of December, so it's after Christmas. Once New Year's is over, I'm going to call Jeff and get him to come out, if he's available, to fit the front and rear glass, because I want that fitted sooner rather than later, and it just cleans up everything, you know what I mean? That's one of the other screws I had there, but I've since found the plated ones. So it wasn't terribly organised with how I stored this parts from this car. Lots of bits just around, if you know what I mean. I didn't really do it properly because of the lack of room, I guess. I've just sort of put things in corners where I had room. There's one of those things I was talking about where the screw goes in. So we will continue. I'm just waiting for, I might do it later in the day. I've got the little XD parked down the bottom in the shade, and I don't want to leave this out in a 35 degree heat, 36 degree heat. So I'll just wait a few hours and continue. Right, so the hardware search. I had a problem. These are the guides for the power windows. That's off the manual window one. If you look at a power window one, they're different. Now, hang on, just let me get him out and show you what I'm talking about. That's so different. They're both right hand front ones. Now the Fairlane, the donor car with the power windows that I bought, had one of the rear doors, I think it was the right hand rear door, was missing, and as a consequence I haven't got the right hand rear one of those. But although the front's different, the rears are the same. So if I just pop that back in there so I know where it's from. This is the left hand rear off the Fairlane, and that's off a wind up window one, and you can see they are identical, so I don't need to worry. They're absolutely identical. So they're going to work. So although I was missing one, I was worried about it. I don't have much to worry about. Now this car had all that, that's why I'm wearing a glove, all that horrible sticky stuff. I don't know if I've got enough plated fasteners to do all doors, because they're all 1/4 inch course and they're quite broad. That's a window regulator one. Some of them are shorter, but I'll stick them all in there, get a bit of thinnery stuff and wash them down. So it's all looking pretty good. Well, I thought I'd come out and do a bit of cleaning. It's very hot today. It's 40, come down to 42 Celsius. It was 43 before. 43 is like 110 Fahrenheit. Not terribly wise to be working with thinner because of high rate of evaporation and fumes and that sort of thing. We're just going to have to, if we feel uncomfortable, just go inside, ditch, and life's good. So this gooey stuff doesn't look like it wants to come off too easily. I thought the thinner would get rid of it. Got all our bolt laundry done. A lot of these are really good. And they're certainly going to be fine for bits behind the door trims. The plated ones I've got, the really nice ones, which are here, they'll be on the outside where you can actually see them. These look nice, don't they? That was one that had a slight dent in it. It doesn't look too bad. I've only put the one side on because I wanted to save 4 of these from the door top moldings. Whoops, dropped one. These are great. You know, they're one of the, I was going to say the few Repro aftermarket parts that just really work well, but they go straight in, tied up beautifully, so I'm very happy with that. But yeah, I wanted to save these for the 2 right-hand door top moldings because I intend to put those on today. Right, where do we begin? Well, we've got a naked door, but we have all the opening and closing stuff in. Good chance I might have to take that off again and this to get the reg in. I've done these before, but I can't remember. I'm all sweaty too, so if I gross you out, just stop watching. So I'm just going to do it my way. I've already ordered the rear Venetian, which is quite premature. I found a white one. I wanted a black one originally, but I found a white one, $40 cheaper than everywhere else I ordered it. Got to think also about the dealership sticker. I've got coffee for it on the back of the X-Dub, because that's where Dad bought his ex-wife from. Perusing the availability, and there's Melford, which I used to always look at the ad for Melford's because I swooned over the ex-police cars they always had there, and I've got a cutting somewhere. If I can find it, I'll include it on this. Right, we'll start with the glass, and it's probably the wrong way to do it, but I'm doing it this way because I feel like it. So I'm just going to let that rest at the bottom, just like that. I think the next thing we'll do is we'll stick the quarter glass in. Now this is a second-hand rubber. It's still quite pliable. It's all good. I soaked it in hot water, then cleaned it with a toothbrush. Came up beautifully. The thing is, though, we're going to have to lubricate it because it's going to hang on. It'll be very difficult to get in that frame. So I'm just going to put some slip on, and we'll pop that in as well. Washing detergent's normally what people would recommend for this. I've just used a very, very slight smear of rubber grease. Don't want to be too overzealous with it though, because you don't want it running down the bloody door or anything. God, I might brush that against there. There we go. That's pretty well there, I think. I'm just going to pop around the other side and have a look. But the reason I use rubber grease, and I only just dampen the edge of it, was the same reason everyone says never wash your car with washing detergent, because normally that's what you use. This guy here, that has a little pitch adjustment on it that sets up the angle of this properly down there. I've got that on the bench, and also it's secured up here. But this is where bad language will gush out of our mouths because I'm about to start swearing. And we've got to figure how to get it in. Don't know, without scratching. I think it's going to go in. I can't even see a bloody thing. But I can see it's basically kind of sort of almost alright. So I'm just going to pop around the other side. Because there's no room to move in here, which is annoying. But not too bad. I don't mind really. I get to do this, it's good fun. Right, so I've got this little guy here. It's an adjuster that adjusts the pitch of that runner. It's got a little Allen head thing there, so you can just turn it and it'll push against the door skin and adjust the pitch of that guy here. I'm just going to pop it out and get it in, and then let it poke through the hole. And there's just a nut sits there once you adjust it where you want it, and the nut sits on the outside. Well, there I think it is. And Bob's your uncle. I might just pull that right in to give me a bit more movement on the seal, which is what we need. Like that. Right, so I'm just using a small felt tip screw stick. I can stick that in the hole and pull that over. I can sort of fish around for the hole in there. It uses this special screw. It's a little machine screw. And I'll just drop something. And we can just get that in. Normally they're painted black, but I'm the plating junkie, right? Because I'm just a fusspot. And also we've got this lock nut which looks just the same as a seat type nut, and that can just go in there and just sit there loose. I don't care. I think what we'll do now is we'll get the Bailey channel in. Right, so I've got our Bailey channel. Rear and front are different. The reason for that is this channel here is wider than this one in here. I use the regular stuff in XW and just modify it to fit, which you can do. There's probably two links in here. I haven't unwrapped. Oh, here we go. That's easy enough to understand. Now, once I've worked out exactly how this goes, that's it. That just fits in like that. Once I've worked it out, of course, we cut a miter, but not just that. I'm just going to put some contact adhesive along there and along the back just to hold it so it doesn't slide down with the window, which it shouldn't do anyway. But end of the day, though, I might just fucking stick it in. Fits in beautifully. I'll do this one now. This is wider of the two. I haven't mitered it. This is just a dummy fit. Yep, that's it. And this one's a little bit dearer. Tiny bit dearer than the other stuff. We do have to cut it there though. Right, so I'm just going to grab the glass, pull him up. And I'll get a bit of that because I only painted it yesterday. And Pencil tape. I wish I had 3 hands sometimes. And need to hold it up, just like that. That'll do it. Now I can be a bit more efficient with it. Pig, because I can't just move the reg where I want it. I'm going to have to take the door handle off and sort of feed it in, wangle it around, then sort of adjust it electrically to get it to where I want it to be. So, I think the first thing we're going to have to do is to get rid of that door handle. What if I can get it in this way? Do you think? Maybe this way and then turn it around. Bloody hell, this is impossible. How do you get it in? Shit. Not happening, lads. Not happening. She's just saying no. I'm pretty sure this is the right reg. Where these two control the height of the window, and that's the idler thing for that. Yep, that's the right one. Because it's not like I'm getting any joy doing it this way. Although, hang on. Turn that around. Aha, success. Right, so now what we need to do is get these into the window rail, which is right up the top. This one here being one of them. I'll have to lubricate them, but I'm going to do that after. Right, so I've got the electric window regulator in. I was trying to put it up here. That's the reason I had so much trouble. And then I just got the other one from the other side, didn't have the motor on, and figured out it goes down here. Greased it up. I'm just going to clean around there a bit. This is the belt moulding. And so this is going to be a challenge as well, because I've got to sort of bend it around here a bit. So as I'm trying to do this, and then we just pop him in. Well, this has been absolutely horrendous because I didn't know how everything went. I thought the regulator went up there where the manual one goes, but it doesn't. It sort of mounted a lot lower and caused a bit of grief. Having said that, it seems to be working quite well. And I'll go the other way. So that's cool. So all I need to do now is clean the glass, obviously, because it's grotty where my fingers have been. I've got the belt moulding here. Put that wire in there. So that's sitting in. That was actually a pain. I wouldn't do this again that way because it's sitting out there, but I've got to knock it in. I should have put in beforehand. I thought it'd be easier doing it this way. The other thing I want to put on today is this to say this door's finished. Whoops, and that will sit something like that. So I'll get some clips and start putting that on. And there's 2 screen ones as well. Although I don't know if I can get the thing, the socket behind there. I'll just take it out and have a look. But it is going slower than I anticipated. I thought today I'd get 2 windows done. I've only got 1. I'm just going to give it a hit with the back of the screwdriver. And she's in. Beautiful. And I'll put some studs in for these ones. And that should hold it down rather nicely. Well, that's it for this video. I wanted to get the front window done as well, but I didn't. The car's been fighting me a bit, and I wasn't really familiar with what I was doing, so it took a lot longer than I anticipated. The main thing is that both doors are openable and lockable and all that sort of stuff. And we've got a power window working one. So the next one, I think we'll do this front door. I'm not sure if we'll bother filming that because you've already seen me toiling away with this sort of crap, but she's getting there. Very slowly, she's getting there. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Drive safely, enjoy classic, and I'll see you around. And the dog's saying goodbye too. Cheers.